I
Yeah.
went, okay, it says we're live, but we'll just wait a second. But I did actually go to an In-N-Out when I went to California.
Was it better in California than it was in Texas? Because
I just don't even understand what the hype is. I really don't.
it was nasty to me. No offense to the.
Like the burger was just not good, and people are probably going to be like, "What? Oh my gosh!"
It's
No, it was pretty awful.
it's not good.
Like I never want to go there again. It was not
I
good.
don't go. We went twice. It was like the first time we was like, okay, maybe they're just trying to figure out how to make it. So
No,
we'll go give it a second try. Maybe it got better. It ain't get no better. So
no,
we went back. We're
it's
good.
not. It's not that great. I'm trying to think if there was any other like brands like that we did in California, but that was like the one that we really wanted to go to. We went there like straight off the plane. We went to the In-N-Out. Hey, Kristen.
Oh, I see people.
Yes, hi. Yes, say hi if you're here. We're just waiting for people to find us. We're a couple minutes late. It's the book club, so that's what we do. We are late to everything. So,
I like how like the first two people who talk, they're like not even from here.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody said, thank God. I was so anxious I was missing it. No, we're just always late in the book club
Yep.
because that is so book club to do.
Oh,
Thanks for your shout out and your words of encouragement on your Instagram post saying that it was a good group to join.
well, yeah.
The weirdest group ever.
Well, because like my father was always looking for like books and stuff, and I'm like, hey, it's a book club. They sometimes talk about
It's
books.
something about a book club, right? It has book club in the title of the group. Hey, Kristen. Yes, super excited. And Tiffany. Oh my gosh, Tiffany, you're in our book too.
Oh yeah, I was like, what?
Ah, that is so funny.
I wrote a book.
Amazing. Okay, I'm gonna get started with like my Facebook, I mean my group spiel, my introduction, and then we'll just go ahead and get started as people join us. So, hello and welcome. My name is Megan, and I am your fearless host of that awesome book club. And this is a group that is kind of like a book club, but not really because we don't do any assigned reading in this group. A lot of you are new and welcome. I'm happy for you to join us. And for the ones of you that joined today, we have not triaged you into the different resources, but you can find all of our book lists on the introduction post in our group. And yeah, this is just a group where we discuss books. We talk about what we like, what we don't like. We put them on recommendation lists, or we don't put them on recommendation lists. And we have like several recommendation lists. And if you're a parent or if you are newly identified autistic adult, there's a book list for you. And there's also a printable book list for providers to give to your clients or patients. We have one of those. So you can check out the introduction post for that. And Angelina and Kimberly are in our comment section. They are my admins, so welcome both of you. Yes, Facebook user. If your comment shows up like this, at the top of this post, there's a link that says streamyard.com/Facebook, and you can grant your permission to have your name in the comment. Because this is a closed group or private group, I'm not sure what they're calling it now on Facebook, but because of that, there's a privacy issue. So a lot of people join these closed groups and expect anonymity, which that is a myth. But either way, yeah, you can put in your permission. It's very quick, and then your name will show up. Yay! So welcome. Oh my gosh, we are here with Tiffany Hammond from Fidget Surprise. Woo! So excited. Oh my gosh, Tiffany. Tiffany does all of the things. I just watched your what 2 plus
Yeah.
hour. Gosh, that was so good. I just watched your 2 plus hour live on Instagram yesterday with uh, Tiffany from High Functioning Autism, and it's neurodivergent narratives, right?
Right.
And what's her name again?
Sandra.
Sandra. Oh, she's amazing. I'm gonna write that down because I'm terrible with names. But yes, I just newly found her, so that was awesome. Yeah, that was a great live. If you haven't checked it out, y'all should go check it out. Did y'all record it?
TJ did with the Instagram. They put it on the
Like on a feed or
page
something?
and stuff. Yeah, but we're gonna do them monthly. So the next month is gonna be on like somewhere else, kind of maybe something like this or somewhere else or whatever. But yeah,
Yeah, it was amazing.
it's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, you got it fixed. Awesome. All right, so Tiffany, can you tell us about yourself? All of the things for people that don't know you, people that are new to you.
Tiffany. Um, I am the voice behind Fishes and Fries, which is a gosh darn it. I suck at this.
Well, it's on
I'm
Instagram
sorry.
and Facebook.
I messed up. Let me rewind it. Okay. Tiffany, Tiffy, Tiff. I go by all three. I'm the voice behind Fishes and Fries. I am identify as autistic, or with autism. I really don't care. And I am the parent to two boys with the same diagnosis. They're teenagers. Aiden's 15. JoJo is 13. Aiden's non-speaking. JoJo speaks, but it's like sporadically, situationally. Depends on how he feels. Um, I talk about the intersections of everything.
I was about to say, choose
All of it.
one.
It doesn't matter. I talk about all of it. Intersections of like race and gender and just everything. Being a parent, being a disabled parent, those who the those who speak, those who don't, just like everything. I talk about everything. I am a writer, storyteller. Um, I don't like to do uh, advocacy in a way that's like academic. You feel like you're sitting in class. Um, so I leave that to everybody else. And they have their posts and they tell you what red flags and all of those things are, or this is what routine feels like to you know I don't do that. I just like to tell stories and then like try to like relate our experiences to other people so they
You
see it.
are such a fab storyteller.
Oh yeah, that's how I reach. That's how I reach the people. No, I don't know. That's what I try to reach the people, and hope that they can like see themselves even in just like a little bit of what I write. So I feel like if I could get you just like in a little sliver, then I got you.
You hook them
right there. Yeah. I welcome you into the family, and you're a cousin, and so that's what I do. And yeah, and what else? Yeah, that's what I do, and I want to keep doing it. And
That's it, huh?
I know there's probably something else. I can't think of it right now. It's a lot.
Well, I love following you, especially like I think that I probably found you on Instagram, and then you more recently went to Facebook, and then you've grown there like exponentially, like in no time, which is amazing.
Yeah, that's
Are
why.
are you on the TikToks?
I tried TikTok. Uh, I just got on it. It's so weird. Like I started with Facebook because I like to write, and I felt like it was a better platform for writing.
Mm-hmm.
And Then I had a super horrible experience with Facebook and the community here, and then I left and I went to Instagram, and it was hard to be on Instagram because it was like so image driven, and I write, and so it was just trying to figure out how to navigate that space. And then I found my pocket, and then I grew there, and
Well, you did.
then I was like, okay, I'll try and go back to Facebook because like there are a lot of people that follow me on Instagram that were also on Facebook. So I said I'll give it another try. Um, and by the time I got back on Facebook, I have this like fuck it attitude. I don't give a shit about nobody. Like what nobody has to say about anything that I share. And that is just kind of what that was. And then I grew here. Didn't expect to grow here. I was just like, I'll just share other stuff here because just I want to share
Since
something.
I'm sharing it, I might as well share it wherever. Right.
And then it got a little bit hard to share on Instagram. You write long, then you have to chop it down, and then you have to put it on a slide or something so that it'll fit. And then you have to write the image descriptions, and then you have to write. It was just like a lot to put.
It's a lot. That is a lot.
Yeah, so I just started sharing on Facebook just because I just was writing, and just boom, share, it's done. And then I just kind of grew. When I came back to Facebook, I think I only had like 4,000 followers, and that was like in March, maybe April or something like that.
And you have so many now.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I just got sucked in. But TikTok, I can't figure out TikTok for nothing. I'm on there. I put two posts on there. I'm gonna do more. I can't figure it out. It's too hard. I don't know how to navigate it. I I I can't even really watch the videos. Like the words, they stay on the video, and I don't know how to get rid of them or like move them away. And then it's just I can't see how to find the notifications because it's like it's a little message box, and it looks like it says inbox, but that's where you find the notifications and people quote you and stuff. But I never click
So
it.
confusing.
And I don't know. I'll try it, but I can't get it. I'm not on Twitter. I used to be, but Twitter was too hard for me to navigate to, so I left that alone. So basically, I'm mostly on Facebook and Instagram. It's just easier for me, and I'm gonna try TikTok too, but I make no guarantees. So.
Well, let me know when you try it. I'll try it, and then we can like learn it together. Because TikTok is I'm up there, but I have not posted yet, and I just don't know how. Kristen, Kristen says your words are the very first I read when I logged. Oh, let me back that up.
You should. You watched it. Always.
Tiffany, your words are the very first I read when I log on to Facebook.
That's so sweet. They're awesome. My very first words I read.
I know that's right. All right, well, let's talk about your book because that's the reason we are all here today. We want to hear all about it. A Day with No Words is already for pre-sale, and my admins have put the link up in the comments, and I'm sure they'll go up a couple other times. And it's available for pre-sale everywhere. And when is it actually going to be shipped out? Do you know yet? Do you have a release date?
It's May 9th, 2023. So.
All right, May 9th. And that's amazing. It feels like so far away, doesn't it?
I know, but a couple of months have gone by kind of fast. So maybe the rest will go by fast too. Hi, Alex. So I don't know.
Well, tell us about the book. It's called A Day with No Words. Why did you write it? And what's it about?
I wrote it because I wanted to reach both children and their parents or their teachers or whoever will read to them. I wanted to reach that age group that first kind of recognized when my boys were different, and hopefully inspire some type of like change and understanding and acceptance and things, and they start kind of you start recognizing differences in people when they're young. And I want them to recognize differences and not treat people differently because of them. And so I felt like the children's book is a really awesome way to do that, to start that. And I knew it was gonna be hard. I was like, oh crap, it's gonna be hard. I don't even know what I got myself into. Like,
Because you are pretty verbose when you're writing. I will say that. Like you don't like if you're even writing a comment.
okay.
You're not look, I'm not it's I love it because I love like I will hang on every word, right? I'm like, oh my gosh, she just said everything I would want to say but better. But a children's book, you can't write that many. It's like I don't even know what the word limit is, but gosh, it had to be hard.
It was hard. Like Rebecca, my publisher, Rebecca, like she was like 600 words, and I'm like, dang, do you know me? Like I know how to do that, and
Have we met? Right.
I was like, oh my gosh, how do I do it? And it's like you have to do so much with that 600 words. Like nothing can be wasted. You have to make it entertaining because they're children, so they could keep reading it from the front to the back. It had to have a story to it. It had to, and I wanted it to also send a message and be like this love note to my son and to others that were like him, and have all these little touches of like him in there, which is why I was like adamant that it had to rhyme, because he loves music and songs, and it was like it has to rhyme. Rhyme is not my thing, but I was like, I'll
I love a
try.
good rhyming book.
I was like, man, I was like, I don't know really what I got myself into this, and I wanted it to serve as a call to action, so to speak. So like something that can get people involved and make it feel like they, are helping to make this world a little bit better for, all the Aidens in the world. And because like one of the biggest things is that I see a lot from like followers and stuff is they want to help and they don't know how. And so I wanted to give them, whoever read this book, like a way to help. And it costs nothing. You can do your own days where you don't speak and you do it the whole day. And you go out and you're showing your community another way to communicate. And the more people that do it, the better.
So
And
let's talk about back up a little bit so that people know what you're talking about. If they have not seen this book, and if you want to share some of it, I have it up.
I totally don't have nothing of it.
I do have it up. Usually I like to have a visual, but of course it's not out yet. But I do have the thing that you sent me. We can share a page or two if you want.
Yeah.
But tell people what you're talking about. Let's tell them what the book is about first.
Hey, the book is about the bond between mama and son, and how she wants to better understand how he lives, and how he experiences the world. So she participates in these days where she doesn't speak at all, and she communicates just like he does. He has a tablet, she has a tablet. He talks with his tablet, she talks with her tablet. And it's going around their day from when they wake up, to they go in the park, and they go eat.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just the entire day of them just communicating with each other and their surroundings, with no spoken language. And that's the gist of it. Yeah. I'm just, and it's highlighting, how much, she loves her son. and how, happy he is and how carefree he is and how he just enjoys the things that he loves. Like he's hugging the trees and he's spinning in the park, and um he likes wet grass, so he's spinning with no shoes on, and it, highlights the some of the mean comments that they get, and how, they respond to that. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Can I share my favorite page?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know what it is.
Okay. It really is my favorite because it's gorgeous. And who was your illustrator? What's her name again?
Kate Cosgrove. I hope I said her last name right.
Yeah,
Cosgrove.
sounds good enough. This is the page I love.
Oh yes, it's an awesome one.
Like she really does capture like him looking through his eyes because my kid does that. That
Yeah, that's Aiden's thing, and I was like, he has to, she's so awesome. I sent her like, I sent the stuff to Rebecca to send to her about the things that Aiden does and uses, and um, like, who he is and everything. And she just nailed it. Like,
I
not,
mean, even to just implement that in his eyes, like
yeah. I thought she was just gonna say, show that he was staring through, but how to have it, showing back. Like you can see the trees in the one eye, and then the mamas in the other, and everything. And even how he holds his hand is not like completely straight. Like
that
Aiden's
posture.
always
Yeah.
like kind of a little crooked and everything. And then, he's hugging the trees, and like that's Aiden's thing. Aiden loves trees. Except for pecan. I don't know. I don't know why. But every other tree he loves. And she knocked it out of the park. She nailed it. I can't even. I was like so like nervous about like what the pictures are gonna look like. I was like, oh gosh, what are they gonna look like?
And you didn't even know. Like you were just saying what and you just
Yeah, it's
wow.
just like communicating, like back and forth, and just like, what is it gonna look like? Oh yeah, that's him spinning with his little toes. And it came out so amazing. And then you have, Mama has her tablet. That's green. That's the color of mine. And Aiden has his red one. He has a red one. And I sent a picture of, what our tablets look like, and has the straps. And she drew it exactly like that. That stuff. And I was so amazed with the blue hair because I was rocking blue hair not too long ago.
I love it. I love it. And it's funny you were like they these are your what did you call them? Your baby hairs.
Yes, I was like, she gave me baby hairs, y'all. I wish you could zoom in on it because they are fresh.
They are
Got baby hairs. And I know she now you can't see it in this picture, but the other one, she has a little gap.
yes, I did see that and I love that.
This was like, look at that little gap. I liked it. I loved it like so much. And this part, this one was what like was amazing. This was one of the first pictures that I saw. Was this one, and that's how I knew like, oh, this is gonna be super awesome because I would have never thought to put the words that way I wrote and then put it into the tablet so it make it seem like it's coming out. So it's just like it was just like amazing. And then to have them kind of like the letters just like pop off the page. It was just like amazing.
And I love how it's showing like it's I mean, children's books are not like you were saying, they're not just for kids. Children's books teach the adults just as much as they do the children because it's modeling what you want them to see. And it's I love how it's modeling like you having your own tablet and him having his own tablet. And that is just it's so crucial, isn't it?
Most definitely. That's like I never want to be talking to my son, whether if I'm using my mouth or if I'm writing something or if I'm using the tablet. I never want to have to take his from him so that I can use it and then give it back to him. Like I never
Right.
wanted to like do that. because it's like that's his voice right there. Like you don't want to like take turns with you know
Let's take turns with your voice.
right. And so I never wanted to do that. I like so it's just like I have to have my own. And first chance I got when I was able to save up to get extra tablets and stuff. That was like the first thing we did was like we each have to have like our own. And that's probably like one of like the best things ever. And this picture, no, this was one of the first pictures too. Was this one? And see, I thought like the all done on it.
I love that, and it has the sign for all done too.
Yeah, we had this. I had to send her the pictures of his boards and stuff, and so like totally nailed it. Because like the other few books that I've seen, that have like tablets in them and stuff, they don't quite look like like what his would look like. Sometimes they're a little bit I don't know the word, but like different and like not quite the same. And I wanted it to be like as close to um his as possible.
For sure.
And I wanted it to because the whole book is a message. Like from all the words within the book to the pictures to even the title. And it was just like everything has to mean something. Like
I feel like this part here is just like I guess that's what you would call the conflict in the story is this one, this page right here.
right.
And I mean, this is not just for, I mean, obviously children are going to get this, but like their parents are going to get this message of like, here my kid is having the time of his life, doing whatever it is, whether it's hugging a tree or walking in the grass or stimming or whatever he's doing, but not bothering anyone. And then here we have like people looking at us and being mean, and they're teaching their kids to be the same way. And that kind of is like a reality check for the general public.
Yeah, I had to include that in there too. Like at first it's like, okay, I'll just have a story, just be kind of happy going through all this day and stuff. But that's not how our day is when we do these. And that's not how our day is when we don't do it. It's always every time we go out is something. It's not always happy interactions. There's always at least one. And so I wanted to put that, in there and show in this situation that happened to us for real.
Yeah.
And so it's like Aiden, he's in his own thing. He's like, I care about nothing you're talking about. I don't care. I'm gonna spin, I'm gonna have fun, I'm gonna dance, I'm gonna jump, I'm gonna do all these things and then you see all these families and parents around, and then they're just like not really like accepting of him and how he is, and and that's hard to deal with as his parent and stuff, and you want to like that stuff makes you so mad. You want to like burn the whole world down. Like sometimes you just want to just be like, oh my gosh. And those days are really hard on days when we're not speaking. Since we have to stay. You have to stay.
You have to stay in that non-speaking.
Yeah.
No matter what, you're gonna stay with it
because this is important. It's not just something to do because you want to model it for him and stuff. You also want to dip yourself so as far as you can into his world. You're not gonna you're not gonna always fully understand what it is that he's going through, what he's experiencing, but you can try and come as close as you can, and you learn so much from doing these. You learn how frustrated you are when you cannot just come out and say, what the F are you looking at?
Right.
You can't just yell at someone or tell them that they're doing so, and you're shaking trying to type. And so like the part when, like the on the next page or two where she's like breathing and stuff,
That
that's what I have to do because I can't. You're so angry, your fingers shake, and you want to jump out of your skin, and you can't calm down, and you don't know what to do. So you have to try to find a way to like calm down so that you can do it. And then so you wonder, is this why he goes through two? He's so angry, or if he's so like emotional, if he's so like, and you just feel like you can't bring yourself back to center. Like, what is it that you're gonna do to
and we're grown.
try to?
Like we are grown ups and we know we have the option if we need it. Like, and so that's even
Yeah,
more. Yeah. Well, I received these pages like out of order from you, like just when they were popping up and stuff. And so I didn't even know the context of these two pages. But as soon as I saw the illustrations, I knew exactly what was happening. I mean, that's how epic this book is. It's like I think every mother will see these and be like, take a deep breath.
you have to. You gotta like try and find a way to calm down. And this scenario and this thing is important in a lot of ways. Like I have to calm down because I can't focus enough to still my fingers to type to do these things. Um, but I also can't be loud and belligerent and stuff because I'm black. And so I can't, there's a lot of things that go into, what I do and influence the things that I do and how I behave and stuff. And so while this book is not centered on race, we are black, that was important to me that we have a book in a story that shows us in this diagnosis that shows disabled black people that we exist and that we're here and we experience a lot of the things that's similar to everyone else, but then we also experience things a little bit differently. But it was incredibly important to me that this book have real people and that they be real black. So it was just like,
Because you don't see that in any book.
yeah, you don't see it that much, and it's so important. Like I know sometimes, when people share the link to the book and stuff, they'll like describe it as, you know, as it being a black book or something. And I'm like, oh yeah, kind of. But it's a book about autism and disability and non-speaking autism specifically, and the characters just happen to be black. But it's definitely important that they are black. It's like it's not like low on the on the list. It's like it's up there, but it's just maybe one day in the future I'll write a more race centric like type of book. But it was definitely important that the characters be black because they don't you don't see too many um, books like that. I don't even think I've seen one.
I'm really happy, like
Oh,
just when I see brown kids in books.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like that makes me really happy just to see brown kids. And that means that there really aren't.
yeah,
And there I can't think of one off the top of my head that has at least especially like those like written by a black person featuring black people. And actually I'm lying. There is one. This one is one.
I just scooted in like I'm in your house.
I know. It's Sensory Seeking Sebastian.
I might need that one.
That's a good one. But I mean it's really few and far in between. There are not that many.
That's not that many, and that was incredibly important to me that it's people and they're black. They'll be black. Like when he goes, that has to be the thing. So like it was just very
And I think it's important, like what you were saying about like you can't like be belligerent and you can't go off on them because like that is not safe, right? I mean, you just have to be able to
Yeah, you gotta calm. You gotta
eat
calm
it.
down for a lot of,
Mhm.
yeah. There's a whole lot of things that I eat on a regular basis, and it's not good for you. And but it's you have to you have to do it. It makes it even more difficult when you don't have. I need to get that one too.
Oh, it's so good. You know, Dana is right. Thank you, Kimberly. I mean, Angelina. Yes, this one. Come eat, Drayden. Thank you. I'm like, you know, my memory off the top of my head, I can't think of things. But yes, this is a great family book.
Okay, I'm gonna get that one too.
Yeah, and it's with their
I'm
whole
trying
yeah.
to like collect all the black stories, like Pokemon. Like I just want to like collect this
Collect them all.
many, and it's just like I was just so like so happy to have the opportunity to write this book, and I never thought it would, like, I had like publishers and like editors like approach me to write um something, and then it just like it fell through, like for whatever reason, types of it would fall through and stuff. So it was just like it just wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant to be. Like I had an
Right.
editor from Simon and Schuster, and they were like, "Okay, this is a story," and they didn't like how I wrote the story. So I was like, "Okay," and so I rewrote it, and then I guess she still didn't like it because she just pretty much ghosted me. I didn't hear from her like at all from it. It wasn't the same story that I just gave y'all. It's just I was trying to go off of the guidelines that she's giving me, and I was trying to like follow that.
You were
And
trying to fit into somebody else's guidelines.
yeah, so it didn't really fit me. But it's just like I didn't know anything about books and the process and all of these things, and so I was like pretty really bummed about that situation. And then we got ended up having, signing on with, with Rebecca and stuff, and now my book is being distributed by Simon and Schuster. So I didn't get to work with that, and but I get to
Right.
the book distributed.
Like
So
I'm
like
here.
we're all working
No
out.
matter what you wanted, I'm here.
It all worked out in the end.
Oh, we have a question, Tiffany.
Awesome sauce. I
No
might have
question.
an answer.
Mary said, and I'm going to try not to mess this up, I might need two goes. I would love your thoughts on a speaking adult, me, a white woman, using a tablet one day without a non speaking person also present.
Do it. Like seriously, that's the whole like point. I'm all yelling, y'all. Let me get excited. Don't let me get excited. Now, do it. Like that's like the main like point. One of the main points of this story is that I wanted people to read it, connect with it, and then give them something tangible to do with it. You go out into the world using whatever you feel is most comfortable for you that is not your mouth, and you do it. Whether you're typing, writing, you have your own AAC app, signing, uh, what else is out there? Everything, that
Picture
you can,
card or something like that. Yeah.
yeah,
Anything.
anything that you can use that is not your mouth to communicate
Text to
with
speech, like they have that on phones.
all of that,
Yeah.
and you do it. And then because the aim for this is to normalize communication outside of speech, and it won't get to that point if there's not a lot of people doing it. And so you just do it. Everybody does it. And then the more people that are doing it, the better. You just gonna do it. And then like remind people, like half the time people, what is it? How many billions of people are on social media? We're
That's
literally
a lot of
not
billions. It's
talking
almost
to
all of
people.
them.
Yeah, and we're not talking to people most of it. We are typing to each other. We're not talking to each other.
We're
When
gifts.
we text, we
Yeah, we're
text
doing
each
gifts
other.
all the time.
Yeah, so it's just like all these ways we communicate with each other without speaking, and yet it becomes a problem for someone like Aiden who has to use the device to do it, or someone who's signing, or someone um who's just not who doesn't use them out, or who's writing, or who's like, and it's that's always wild to me. It's like even when we go to like some restaurants and stuff, and they have the pull forward so you can use the accessible menu and stuff, and even they seem a bit like impatient with it. You're offering this for people who need it, and yet when we're going to go use it, it's like a problem for you. So it's like
Yeah,
different.
but then you go into like another restaurant where you expect to be like served by a waiter, and then they have those things on the table now
Oh
where
god,
you can
they
just
have those things.
order at the table. Me myself, I'm like, I don't know how to use this. Like, I'm gonna need somebody to come help me.
Exactly, you gotta have all these different ways to. I saw a post on my Facebook the other day. It was like a electronic waiter or something. It was like he had a digital plate screen or something, and then he had like some arms, and it held the food, and somebody just wheeled it out to you.
Like from the Jetsons or something.
Yeah, I was like, what is this? I was like, so it's just like I just wanted to give people a way to try and show the world that it's okay that there people don't speak, and that it's okay that you address people that don't speak, and you help them, and you also communicate back to them. um like that's what this book is all about. I want people to do it, even if they even if they do speak, even if they have no one in their lives that's non-speaking. Like, just any way you can do it, any time you can do it, any way, and the hope is that it catches on, and it spreads, and it leads to more employers being more accommodating, more schools being more accommodating as well, and businesses, and just all kinds of things. Like, you're starting to see like playgrounds and stuff that have
Oh
the
yeah, the big boards. Yeah.
boards and stuff now too, and you're hoping that there'll be more things like that out there, and that's what I'm like hoping that can come from this story and others like it, and it just kind of just spreads out into the world. And
And I mean, and like to your point, like it normalizes it, but it also raises the consciousness around AAC because, like, we in America, at least, if you're in this world, or like if you're in SLP and you're in that world, like you expect people to know more about it than people actually do. Like, it's not as prevalent as one would hope it would be, even in America. I mean, I would say that we're farther than other countries that I work with, but like there are still kids and teenagers who are non-speaking that do not have access to a tablet, to any type of communication. So like raising that consciousness just around, like, even if you're at church or something, or if you're at, wherever you go, or at a restaurant or at the park, like somebody's going to say, "Hey, what is that?"
all the time, all the time. And
And
then
it's going to help somebody. Yeah.
yeah, and that was also part of the reason I wanted to book, because we're alone, like we just are, and I don't. Aiden was in school from 3 to like 10, probably, and he was the only one in each school he was in, each district he was in, each everything he was in, and they had to create programs
Yeah.
around him and then add kids to it. Just so he's not the only one in it. Um, we've only seen two other non-speakers in our lives in person, in real life, and that's it. And I know there's a lot. Well, I know there's more than out there, and but we haven't come across many. And so it's just like you get those questions all the time. You get those stares all the time. When he was in school and he did have a tablet, the kids always wanted to take it and play with it because they thought it was just an iPad that games. And it's just that's what is that, or what's this, or or they get upset because he has an iPad and he can play, or things like that. And or then when you're out in public and not a lot of people understand what the iPad is for, what he's using it to do. And it was just like we need. And then if we didn't get our own tablets, like he wouldn't have one. And he didn't. His speech therapist didn't think he was up for it. That he was ready for it. Schools didn't.
There's so much gatekeeping when it
So
comes.
it was just it was just hard. It was and that's how it is for a lot of families. And I hope that with the story and stuff that they see, like someone, a young child who's using it, that they look at their child and they're like, man, we need to try this. We should try
And
this.
reach out and see that
And
there are options
yeah,
available. Yeah.
yeah, because I didn't have it, and I try not to live with like regrets and stuff, because we started late because we were too busy trying to listen to who we felt were the experts on it, and I hope that with this that families start a lot earlier than what we did, and
It's gonna make this
yeah,
book is gonna make such an impact. It's going to make a splash. Like
I hope so. I did not expect the um the response that it has gotten already at all. I kept telling Rebecca that it's probably only gonna sell like 7 copies, and like 5 of them were bought by my sister. The
you
other
sound
one
like Jules.
be
Jules
like my
is
mom.
lost.
Yeah, it was just like I didn't know, and it's just like because that pre-orders are so 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 important, and I'm sitting here, I'm like, I have to try to sell books based on who I am. Like I gotta hope that my
Your
audience trusts
reputation
me
precedes
enough.
you, right?
Yeah, I have to hope that they trust me enough to want to buy a book. Sight unseen. They've never seen it. They don't know what's in it. And I was like, wow. And I was happy that when it did get put on Amazon, that it had like a few pages on there. Like just like flip through and kind of look through. But other than that, I was just like, man, who's gonna want to buy a book this early? It doesn't come out until May, and it's October, and I gotta like hope that they want to buy it.
Well,
And
they do.
amazing like response, and
Oh, we
like,
have oh,
oh, okay. Oh,
Dana. Oh, that's Dana. The Come Meet Drayden, author of Come Meet Drayden. I hope that parents will not have to go through hell and back and prove worthiness for AAC. I hope parents can have support setting up their device and how to practically accumulate the AAC to their daily lives. That yeah, same Dana, same.
same.
And TJ and I from Tiffany from Not Functioning Autism, we have started trying to do that with parents. We do something like we do like 2 groups a month, every month, just trying to make sure that parents have like that type of support. But
They need that type of support.
yeah,
You have parents that can access speech, but it can't get the device. Either
right.
it's through their therapist doesn't feel that they're ready enough for it, or if insurance is blocking it, or anything. And then when they get it, it's
There's no support for it.
trying to do
And
it.
then half of the time, yeah, and half of the time the therapist is saying, "Oh, well, let's take the grid down because they can't handle it." I know Dana has told me that she has AAC trauma, and we have to get that right because you're not allowed to have that if you're my friend. You have to come to our session on the 20th. I hope that you can. Oh, and Dana says the book out yet. It is available for pre-order. Let's post that link one more time. It's available for pre-order, and it will arrive in May.
Yeah, May. Yeah, it's so far away.
Well, that means that people have enough time
Enough time
to buy it and then buy one for their library.
They keep buying. They keep
and
buying.
for their school.
And school. Like buy a book, buy a copy each month. Like one copy each month. I haven't even bought my book yet. I bought it for to donate to the program that's gonna have that we'll donate it to like schools and libraries and stuff. But I haven't bought it like for myself yet. I wanted to, but I moved too much. So I'm like, I put the address in, I'm gonna be gone up out of here. And yeah, it's still. I think she said it's a book drive. Yeah, the book drive's still going. Book donation drive.
So where is that? Oh, I just saw it.
Yeah, I actually happened to look down there. I was like, oh, look at it.
Oh yes, it is still going on. Oh good.
Yeah, it's still going on. It's probably gonna still go on.
And your publisher is doing that for you, right?
Yeah, we sat down. And I was like, because I kept putting out like requested for your library, requested for your schools and stuff, and then I think that Fred Joseph was doing something similarly or something like that. And so then, she came to me and was like, hey, we could do a book drive thing where people could buy the book and have it delivered to us. And then schools and therapy centers and libraries can sign up for a free book. And then we would mail it to them.
That's amazing.
So that's what we're doing. So if y'all want to buy for the book drive, or if you want to sign up for a book for your school, your library, your therapy center, then you can also sign up and get on the list so that one can be mailed out to you guys. And then you'll have a book and you can spread it around the land or the world. Land.
That's amazing. I can't wait for it to come out. I'm excited about it.
Exciting.
Yeah, it's super exciting. I don't want to hold you too long because I know that you had like that long thing yesterday. I know you're tired.
That was longer than I thought it was, but it was
like that thing. Like, and it was intense too. It was like super intense, Tiffany. Like I was like over here, like I'm like my kids are like setting fires in the background and like jumping off bridges, and I'm like, shh, shh, shh. I'm listening to Tiffany. Shh, shh.
Yeah, it was a lot. We had a lot to get through, and it's still a lot more to go through. We're gonna do it like monthly, and I think once we exhaust all the topics we feel that we can do around ABA and the advocacy that this community does surrounding it, then we'll probably move on to something else. But this one will probably be doing for like several months to come, and go from there. But yeah, that was we have those conversations behind closed doors
all the time.
I don't know if like a lot of people in the community know that. It's just like we're sitting back and we see things and we don't really like talk about them. We talk about them with each other and trying to figure out what to do and how to address those things. And it was just like we have to start having the conversations outside of that. And that's what we chose to do. You get kind of tired of being like seeing things that like have no nuance like whatsoever, and then they come up with different ways to like attack you for that. And then now it's the new attack is it almost seems as though they're saying that even being nuanced is bad now. And then so I'm like, what? like so it's just like it was just time, for us to take the conversations we have behind the scenes and bring it, forward and hope that it would resonate with other people. Hope that they will understand
And
this.
it obviously did, because I mean, y'all had a consistent like 100, consistent
I
100.
was surprised. I
Like,
was like,
yeah.
shoot, I was like, y'all gonna have to go to the bathroom or something.
Okay,
Like,
so we're talking, and I know, right? So we're talking about a live that was yesterday.
oh,
Yes.
you show missed it. You just got it's over. Okay.
And it was amazing. And honestly, like you're right about that. Like I was happy to see the three of you take the lead in that conversation, right? Because these are conversations we have behind closed doors all the time.
All the time.
And 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 it need, those things needed to be said, but they needed to be said, that conversation needs to be led by y'all, right? Like, who
It's
better to lead the conversation than you all?
yeah. We were talking about it for a while, and I didn't know when exactly we was gonna do it, and then that post came. TJ latched onto that. TJ was like, "No, this is what we're doing. We're going in," and I'm like, "Okay," So I was like, "We're doing it. Let's go." And it was just
She said it was in my calendar too. It didn't, like, I had it saved and IG didn't even tell me. I was an hour late and I still listened for like an hour and a half.
it was long. I thought we was gonna stop it like I thought we were gonna stop it like an hour and a half. That's what I
Oh
thought.
my gosh. Yeah. Look, Angela is like story of my life. Yeah. So of course I'm late to everything. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was still like it was like I was right on time. I'm gonna tell you, it was that good. I was like, yes, they're just getting into it. I'm sure y'all had already been into it like the whole time.
I was in it the whole time. It was
I have
very
to go back and watch the first hour of it, but oh my, it was just like I was right on time. I was like, oh, I'm in here. Okay, let's
it
go.
was very informative.
It was
I don't know. And it's just like a lot of things, and we got a lot of messages from people that watched it and said that they thought it was very amazing and good and great. And and then we got a few messages of people that was like worried that we might catch a lot of people, the main ones we're talking about, coming after us and stuff. And I think that what they don't understand is that it takes a lot for Black people to speak out. Like a lot of things that go through our heads, we weigh that. You weigh the pros and cons of that. You weigh what looks
the cost
good
effect.
for you.
Yeah,
Exactly. And it's like you have this cost benefit analysis, and you try to figure out, is it going to be worth it for you to speak up? Like, because you got to know, you might be an island in this. You might not have that backing, that support. And how you are is reflective on not just you, it's on all of you. I can't just do something and it just be, dang, that Tiffany, she done messed up. No, it looks bad on like all
right.
of us. So it's a lot of things that we thought about before we did it. And it's just like, we decided it was necessary.
It was time. It was like past time to do that. Yeah.
It was necessary to do,
But
That's
I think it was important. It's important to note that while I was in there watching and in the comments and stuff, I mean, you weren't just talking about race and you weren't just talking about ABA. Y'all didn't hardly even talk about ABA when I was in there. I think y'all must have started with that. But y'all were talking about lifting up the most marginalized people. And you had non-speakers in there saying, yes, like I'm here for this. Like y'all were not just in there talking about race. Y'all were talking about listening. You know what I mean? Like instead of talking so much, y'all were
don't talk. Yeah, that's what it was. That's what the main thing, the main points we were trying to make, because it's not just about ABA. It's so bigger. It's so much bigger, and a lot of these families and a lot of these individuals have these lives that are not filled with the privilege of choice, like and options and stuff. So to see that someone has to take their least worst option or their least worst choice, and to have an advocate tell you that you're abusive and you're wrong and you're this and you're hurting us and you're doing all, like, what exactly did you just solve here?
Well, and who made
Right?
you? And who made you
Exactly.
like the decider of that? Yeah.
Yeah, and stuff. Yeah, I was worried for you. Yeah, there's a lot out there, that was worried for us. It was just, it was like, you gotta say what you gotta say. I like it took me 2 years. Like when I first started sharing on Instagram, I had just come from being on Facebook and going through probably one of the worst hellish situations that I've ever been in online. And it was because I shared an article that said that Texas Medicaid was going to cover ABA. That was it. It was just a Texas Tribune article.
Yeah.
Boom. And then all hell broke loose. They had people stalking my family members. They had people harassing, my husband. They had people saying that I needed to have CPS called on me, that I was abusing and hurting my kids. They weren't even in ABA. Someone made a fake profile, said that I was a prostitute and that I was sleeping with like a bunch of people. And it was just like a very, 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 very difficult time. And so I moved from one platform to another platform, and I decided that I wasn't going to give up, but I was just going to change how I did it. I was going to say the same things, but I was going to figure out the best way I wanted to do it. And that's how I built up the following there. And I felt like it took me 2 years to get a following and a community to hear me and to understand me in the way that we can have these type of conversations and then not go left. Like, and you're actually hearing what it is
Another
that,
person's perspective and
yeah,
respecting that. Yeah.
that's, and I think that a lot of that has to do with the fact that I just decided I need to tell stories. Like I needed to give you little glimpses into our lives through pictures and the occasional video. But I needed you to feel our humanity. So you needed to know Aiden, and you needed to know him in a way that was deeper than, oh, he's a 15-year-old non-speaking autistic person.
Right.
And you needed to know he loves fries this much. He likes to do this. He's very snarky. He's really, those side eyes will get you. You had to know that JoJo loves to cook. He had to know that he loves to draw. He has these big emotions and he loves his brother so much. Like I have to nail that in you. I have to connect my children with you and with your children and with you individually. And then I can tell you about all the times a gun has been pulled on my kid.
Right.
I can tell you about all the times that someone has threatened to call the police on us. Then I have to tell you about all the times CPS was called on us because my son didn't wear socks. And then I could go into all those things, and you could feel for us because you're already feeling for us. I've already
we have that connection,
invited you in, right? And so now we can have the conversations about, dang. So when we hurt, I want you to feel that we hurt too. That should hurt you too. Because when your kids are hurt, I feel that too. And I want you to feel the same way. And then so now that we're at a point where we can have those conversations because I'm connected to this community in that way. And so now don't nothing really bother me now. My skin got a lot thicker, so I'm not worried too much about what anybody has to say about anything that we did say or did share. But the biggest thing that I did get out of the comments that I did see was the one that you were talking about, was from, I think it was Damon.
Yeah, Damon was
And he was
up there a lot.
Yeah, Damon, and he was like that we were the only ones that was like consistently uplifting non-speakers.
That you and TJ. Yeah.
And it was like I ain't had to hear nothing else out of that whole thing. Like,
It didn't matter what anybody
all
else
the
had
other
to
comments
say.
was beautiful and awesome too, but that one like made my day. And I know, I think Will was in there too.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, that's what I'm trying to do. And I want to highlight all these different identities and all these different lives that live in this community and all these different intersections that come together and create all these really, really complicated, complex experiences that way too many advocates are dismissing and denying. And I'm like, how are you an advocate?
That are not even, they're not even accounted for in their minds. It's like they don't even, yeah.
So that live was awesome. It was intense. It was very hard to do and talk about, and we're gonna keep doing them. And I think the next one is gonna be next month and stuff. And we have some ideas of some really, really awesome people that we want to come on, and especially some autistic DCBAs that we adore, that will hopefully come on and give, you know, their input and the things that they're doing, because they are doing a lot of
They're
great
in the trenches. I've seen
good
them.
work. Yeah, they are. Whoo! I can't do what they're doing, but they do it.
No, I don't even know how they have spoons most days. I've been looking at them and watching them and just
They're doing it.
yeah,
They're doing it. They're hitting it from
they're
all
changing it.
angles, and they are going to these ABA conferences,
Conventions, yeah.
and they're talking to them and they're telling them all the things that's not going right and what they're doing wrong and what we could be doing to be doing better, and then they're coming back and they're working with their clients, and they're they're working with the parents, and they're teaching harm reduction, and they're teaching all these things, and they're helping in a way that I see so many advocates here do not, or don't even want to try. And they're hitting it from all the spots that they can hit it from. They do it just as well as we do it, but hitting it from a different way.
And they're in the, I mean, and they're in that field. I mean, they are, yeah, they're in there.
They're
Yeah.
in it, and I learned so much from them. And I would, love to do whatever I can to give them a platform and give them
And then in their spare time, they're listening
a
and
lot.
learning.
They're like some super listeners.
Yeah, they are. Like I see them like listening, like creating conversations and then like stepping back and listening to like what's being talked about. Yeah.
Yeah, what's being talked about, what's going on, what is
Yeah.
the good, the bad, the ugly, what can they do to help, what can
How can we protect kids? Yeah.
exactly, how, what if we did this, would this exclude somebody? If we did this, would it include everybody? And that's the stuff that they do, and that's the stuff that I do, and that's the stuff that a lot of people that call themselves advocates do not do. And that's what we're trying to highlight and address, and go up against, and hopefully, you know try and like build a community that feels like an actual community. It doesn't feel like warring sides, and that's the dream. you know I got a lot of
Yeah. Tara said they're coming to speller events, showing up at non-speaker IEP meetings. Yeah. Rescue. Yeah. They're doing, yeah.
yeah, they're
In
doing
there.
so much. They're
In
doing
there.
so much, and that's the ones that I'm like, these are the voices we gotta elevate. These are the ones that's trying and doing the best that they can. And
Because there is no utopia. Like that like there that is the reality. There is no utopia. It's not all like it's harm reduction is where is the goal. And that's not the goal for a lot of people is and I mean that's not where we are at in our world. There is no utopia because we are living in this planet Earth. So yeah.
I'm a little up here, like trying to read.
Oh.
I was like, okay, I like this. I don't know where all my comments went though. Oh, there you go. I see it now. I was like, dang.
Of course, not all of them, but they are the ones with access to help right now in this moment. And no, it's not all of them, right? But there are specific ones that Tiffany is probably going to bring on that
Yeah,
really are doing the work.
the ones I adore.
Right. I know who you're talking about, right?
Yeah, I feel like they need to be heard, and I feel like a lot of them are not heard in the way that I feel like they deserve to be, and they're doing so much,
Yeah.
and doing so much, so many good things, and tiring themselves out, and they have so much good advice and good things to to teach others. And I'm like, I don't have like the most giant platform ever, but I have one that I want to help them get their their message out. They have so much good advice about what parents can ask and do if they have to do ABA. What do I need to ask?
I actually wrote an article a long time ago about that.
My girl, send it to me.
Yeah, I wrote an article a long time ago about that, and then I deleted it because
No.
out of like whatever. But like that type of what do you like if you are going to make that decision, these are some questions you need to be asking, and these are some like boundaries. But I just ended up deleting it.
And so there's a lot that have some very good advice and things to look for, because everybody's not able to just choose whatever dominant perspectives want you to do, and that's just life, and that's just our life, and that's a lot of things that we're trying to get them to see and to understand and to know. I didn't even need to be an ABA to do ABA like things. Like,
Yeah, that's another issue, right? That's like a whole other.
and that's a conversation that we're also gonna go deeper into and dive deeper into, and that's why it needed to be broken up into like a lot of like ones and stuff, just to understand and and get it, because it's frustrating to sit there and see people who can mask and tell you all the stuff that they have to do so they can keep their jobs and go to school and have friends and do all these other things, and then they basically tell you you can't really do the same to help your child do that. I can't. My son need to live. They have to survive. They have to survive these systems, and I have to teach them.
And even if you do decide to not do that, it's still prevalent everywhere else. I
Exactly.
mean, in the school systems, and yeah, it's still
Yeah.
prevalent everywhere else.
Yeah. So it
Yeah.
just felt like a good conversation to have, and something that if we space it out long enough that we feel like we get breaks. So we're gonna do one like once a month and things like that. And we're working with our manager, and hopefully we get a sponsor, just one sponsor for it,
That
just to
would be great.
keep
That
it
would,
going.
yeah, for real. Because that's hard work too. It is. It is.
Right. And this one was thrown together like mad fast, because it was just something we were talking about, but we hadn't actually committed to like doing yet until TJ got wind of the post and was like, "No, gotta go, we're going
Right.
in."
It pushed you into
And
doing
so
it.
yeah, I was like, "No, TJ, I'm gonna be on break," but I came back, to do it and stuff. So, but I just want to get other people to think more deeply about the lives of everyone that is in the community that they claim to advocate for. And yeah.
Right. So, I'm gonna ask a final question of you. You've already answered it one time, but you probably have a different answer this time.
I
If you could give one piece of advice to the parents of a newly diagnosed autistic kid, so brand new parent, what would it be?
Oh yeah, I remember this now. I don't think it's gonna change. I think that
I don't remember what it is. What you said the first time. That's what I mean. Like,
I think they need to I know what I wished I would have did. Um Definitely you just need to first you need to feel what you need to feel. I tried to not feel sad and uh hurt, and it just and I couldn't understand why. I needed to work myself through the feelings. You have to work yourself through it. If you need to cry, cry. I mean, I'm not gonna be like, don't cry. If you need to let it out, you gotta let it out. Let out what you need to. Do it in your car when you're by yourself. Um, in your room when you're by yourself. Just just let it out. Feel what you need to feel. Cycle through that, and then after that, take a break. I know they give you those big old books and those things like when Aiden was diagnosed, it was stack of resources, websites, books, documentaries, just all kinds of things that sign up for this waiver list, sign up for that waiver list, do this, do that, and you want to dive right in. You're like, oh my god, let me dive right in. Don't do that. Just breathe. Um, take a break. If it's for a week, if it's two,
yeah,
it's just enjoy yourself, enjoy your child. They didn't change. You just got a diagnosis. Nothing happened differently. They are the same child they were the day before they got the diagnosis. So just enjoy each other. Just breathe. Go somewhere fun. Um, do something fun. Try not to let it consume you. And if you need to, just maybe 15 minutes a day, write down something that you're going to do with that list. Maybe you're going to call the waiver list program. You say, okay, I'm going to call them on this day. A little bit at a time. The next day, maybe doing something for like 10 more minutes. Okay, maybe I'll read just like a little portion of this. If you feel
it's
like,
a whole mindset, though, isn't
yeah,
it?
it's like you gotta,
Because like we are like conditioned to like fix. Do this, do that, do that, do that, and then like you don't realize that is never gonna end, right? Like it just doesn't.
it
And
doesn't,
so you
the
can
fight
race,
is there.
yeah, if you can
Okay.
race to a finish line that you will never get to.
Yeah.
So like
I had that.
yeah,
Someone told me that, and I was like, it's there. This fight is lifelong. Is It doesn't let up, and so it'll be there, whether you jump right into it or whether you take the time to just enjoy your family, enjoy yourself, and just it's still gonna be there. So
yeah,
just take that time and just relax, enjoy each other's company, do the things your child loves to do, have fun, go do all of it.
right.
And
Do
then,
all of the things.
yeah, and then when you jump into it, or when you feel like you're going to ease yourself into it and you need some guidance, or you need some a first place to look, choose voices of those who are most marginalized within the group. Don't go straight to these standard like the ones who are most marginalized, the ones who have the most intersections.
Yeah.
Start with them, and that's what I said yesterday. Start with them and then branch out. That's what
And
he
then branch out. Yeah, I remember you saying that yesterday.
start
That was great.
with
Like start
those
with that base.
and then go,
Find the non-speakers. Find the most marginalized people.
and then go up, and
Yeah.
then branch out from there, and see what they have to say. See what
See what
resources.
they're following.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then go from there. Because if you start with at the top, and with all these leaves, these pretty leaves with no
the
substance,
utopia, right?
you're going to crash. And that goes on all sides, whether it's a parent or whether it's like an autistic advocate and stuff. It's like, it's a lot. It's so much. And then it's a lot of fighting, and it's a lot of judgment. It's a lot of shame, and it's a lot. And that's the thing that I'll probably recommend is like, I wouldn't just dive straight forward in the community. Do ease yourself into just a little bit at a time, because it can be a lot. It's a lot of information, and it's a lot of spaces and stuff. When I first found online, I joined every freaking group.
Yeah, I'm in like 1,000 groups,
and it was just like like information like overload, just like. But just start with those most marginalized people, see who they follow, see what groups they're in, and kind of just start with that a little by little and go from there. But after you take a break and breathe.
Yes, right. Don't do it.
Don't dive right into it. Breathe.
Yeah.
That's my advice.
Perfect. Yeah. Well, okay. So thank you for coming on. Thank you for those who listen, and everybody kind of tunes in whenever they get a chance. So thank you for those tuning in later. And buy A Day Without pre-order A Day with No Words. You can pre-order now, and then you can pre-order one for your kid's school, and then you can pre-order one for pre-ordering until May.
Pre-order for Christmas. Pre-order for
Christmas. Right. Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day. What's in March?
Right. But yeah, because pre-orders are important. They're so important for new authors. So definitely put your pre-orders in. Thank you again for getting all the links up, and thank you to my admins for adminning for me, Angelina and Kimberly. And we will see you another time. Tiffany, stay on the line, and I'll see you back in the studio. Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.